That, I will entertain a motion to come out of executive session at 9:13 PM.
So
and state
moved.
that no actions or motions were taken in executive session. Motion by Len, second by Nicole. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Next item on the agenda is appointments. So, Coach, you'll be happy you stayed for this. You can hear your name announced. Okay, we'll be naming 8 of the 9 people to the Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. There are 2 people that are not on your initial list, but I'll read them off as well. So we'll start at the top. Teresa Conroy, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It's an appointment. The term is until completion. Can I have a motion? Motion by Len, second by Karen. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Ed Stramello, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It is a new appointment. Term is until completion. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Paul, second by Anne Marie. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Jay Hatfield, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It's a new appointment. Term is until completion. Can I have a motion to do so? Motion by Len, second by Nicole. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Paul would say in the old days, Carl made the motion, I seconded the motion. We just hammered right through them all. It was not this back and forth craziness.
Sometimes you had to pull teeth to say something.
Some people, yeah. Paul Sponheimer, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It's a new appointment, and term is until completion.
So moved.
Motion by Nicole. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Karen. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The chair votes aye.
Doesn't matter.
That's right. Motion passes 7-0. Bill Peck, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It's a new appointment, term until completion. Can I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
Motion by Nicole, second by Len. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Jack Lidke, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It is a new appointment, term until completion. Can I have a motion to do so? Motion by Nicole, second by Al. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Tim Sadik, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It's a new appointment. The term is until completion. Can I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
Motion by Len, second by Anne Marie. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Sean Walsh, Seymour High School Athletic Field Committee. It's a new appointment. The term is until completion. I have a motion to do so.
So moved. So moved.
Motion by Len, second by Nicole. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. That is 8 of the 9 appointed members. Rich is going to just confirm whether I can or can't serve on that board, and then we'll make a decision out of the 7 of us. But we will have 1 member of the Board of Selectmen on that board. Okay. Item number 21, tax refunds and abatements. We have 2 this evening. So we're going to go with the October 2nd one first.
October 2nd, to the Board of Selectmen from the tax collector, the following overpayments of tax payments in total of $956.63 need to be approved for refund in accordance with provisions of Section 12-129 of the Connecticut General Statutes, dated at Seymour, the 2nd day of October, 2014, Dana Flock, tax collector.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept the October 2nd, 2014 report of the tax collector as presented? Motion by Nicole, second by Anne Marie. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstained? The chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Nicole.
The following overpayments of tax payments in total of $261.03 need to be approved for refund in accordance with provisions of Section 12-129 of the Connecticut General Statutes, dated at Seymour, the 14th day of October, 2014, Dana Flock, tax office.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept the October 14th, 2014 tax collector's report as presented?
So
Motion by Anne Marie, second by Nicole. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, chair votes aye, motion passes 7-0. Item number 22, transfers, we have no transfers before us. Item number 3, correspondence, we have a good deal of correspondence. We have the Seymour Cultural and Arts Commission schedule of events. We have a resignation for an alternate for the Board of Finance. We have a letter from the Naugatuck Valley Health District with regards to a property at 123 Pearl Street. We have a letter from Town Council with regards to the insurance settlement with We Can Do That. We did receive the full amount of the bond, so we were able to finally put that event to bed. There's a letter from Governor Malloy, which he sent out to all the towns with regards to his declaration for public health emergency with regards to the Ebola situation. And then we have all of the check registers as normal. Item number 24, public comment. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Hearing no public comment, we will close public comment. We will move on to Selectmen's public comment. Karen?
I'm happy to report that after all these months, 89 Buckingham Road has been substantially cleaned up. And it looks like they've done some construction work and even maybe some painting.
Yes.
However, I am frustrated by the lack of progress on Seymour Lumber. There's a lot of talk around town about the condition of the sidewalk, there's the weeds in front of the building and the garbage in front of the building, and how it really detracts from the lower part of 67 on Bank Street. I was also told in an email that the blight officer has discretion on the collection of fines, but I've reread the blight ordinance 3 times, and I can't see any discretionary ability by the blight officer in not collecting fines. So I would really like to know where that is in the blight ordinance. I know there is an appeal process through the Superior Court, but I'd really like somebody to point out to me where the blight officer has discretion as to whether or not he is actually collecting fines,
Okay.
okay?
Rich, could you take a peek at that tomorrow? Thank you.
And also, I'd like to know the status of Lopresti School.
Hold on 1 second, I just want to write
Okay,
your last one down so I don't forget it.
okay.
Okay, where we stand with Lopresti School, we're not going to hit our December date. Realistically, we're probably looking at either January or February. They are doing their due diligence. The principal had gone away for a few weeks. He is back now. He's working on putting his information together with planning and zoning. And again, it's going to come down to how we navigate through that course. There was an issue with WPCA fees, which we had to navigate our way through. That's not something that this board has any part of, but long story short, there's a connection fee and then a charge per unit. WPCA was going to assess the connection fee on each one of the units. So what they had anticipated to be a $40,000, $50,000 bill was a $100,000 bill. So we had to work with WPCA to get that brought down to a more reasonable number. WPCA was very accommodating. They understood the big picture of this. So they did take care of that, but that did cost us a little bit of time on that. So I think we're probably about a month or two behind. The project is in no danger of not going through.
Okay.
So.
All right, and just 2 other things. I had mentioned maybe a month ago investigating the possibility of painting a crosswalk to the Broad Street Park. And I just wondered, have we talked with the state or with whatever authority has the ability to arrange for that?
Dennis, I've had some conversations with Dennis. There are a few other spots as well that are state roads that need crosswalk painting work. It's kind of a tongue twister. So I don't have an update for you today, but I can get one tomorrow and email that out to everybody if that's okay.
That would be great.
Just to get the status of it.
That would be great.
Because as you know, working with the state sometimes is not the easiest thing
Oh,
to accomplish. I can't say, though, that we finally got, and a lot of help, credit to Phil Willamy, but we finally got the trestle painted.
yeah.
So
Nice.
that was nice. I mean,
Phil's worked on that for like 2 years.
yeah, that only took,
He finally got it done. Good
6
for him.
lifetimes. But,
Good for
Phil
him.
was helpful with getting that done, so. yeah.
And the last thing, and I know you and I have had conversations, and I've had conversations with Rory, the dedication of the fish bypass in the park is a week from Thursday.
Mhm.
I haven't seen any publicity. I didn't receive an invitation. Paul did from the governor. Rory and I worked on the list of people to invite to the ceremony. Most of them are, first selectmen or mayors, and they have busy schedules, and I think we're coming, push is coming to shove, where, these people need notice that the ceremony is going to take place next Thursday at 10 a.m. in the morning, which is sort of an odd time, but, because people are working. But I just think it's time for us to jump in. I know DEP is, handling the ceremony, and Chuck Lee, but I think it's time for us to say to them, hey, guys, it's our park, it's our party.
Yes and no. It is our park. I agree with you 100%. They paid for it, so we have to kind of tread a little lighter there. We have to be respectful to, and I'm not saying we're not being respectful. I don't, you know what I mean by being. We have to be respectful to the governor and Congresswoman Delora's schedule. Both are in the middle of a campaign, so.
Well, the governor's not coming, you said.
Well, no, we just found that out.
That's why I got
We just found out today, Rory and I, that we had assumed, and you and Rory had put that list together, that was forwarded to Chuck Lee 2 weeks ago. We were under the assumption that the state was sending out those invitations. That's what we were led to believe. We found out today that is not the case. Rory's been working on that diligently. I've been speaking to people, Mayor Cassetti, Mayor Delgado, Mayor Loretti, First Selectman Bielik, Mayor Mezzo, people like that. All the COG members are aware of it. We let other dignitaries know, state reps know, state senators know, got that information out. Some information was given to the Valley Independent Sentinel. Actually, Jean, who's not here anymore, she grabbed some information yesterday about putting a story together. So we're trying to get it out there. I agree, it's a little late in the day, but I do believe, in defense of DEEP, that the reason they didn't push information out was because I honestly believe they had some reservation that things were not going to be done on the 30th. I honestly believe that. And I'm still have some concern that it may not be done on the 30th. I mean, they're jamming along. They've gotten a tremendous amount done in the last week. But I think in talking with Chuck Lee many times, he always had that fear, that concern that may happen. So.
Would it be noticeable, Kurt? If it wasn't done, even if you have a ceremony?
I don't think it would really impact
Yeah, I mean-
the ceremony, to be honest with you, but I think they had some concerns about substantial completion, that type of thing. I think we can do a grand opening right now with the condition that it's in, and I think everyone would be quite pleased with that. But again, I think we look at this from a different perspective than Deep does. I mean, you're going to hear one of these guys talk, Mr. Geffart, and if you've ever heard him talk about fish, I mean, this is a big deal to him because this is what he does for a living, and I mean, this guy's over the moon about how wonderful this fish bypass is going to be and everything for fish and things. So, I mean, to him, to many people, it's a big deal. So they look at it a little bit differently than us, just their perspective.
Well, we came down over the weekend, and they were working. At
Yeah.
4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, they were working.
Yeah, they're banging away. So, yeah. So, I mean, they're really jamming to get it through, and Master Battisto has been a very good partner for that. Just on a side note, if I could, Karen, just hijack your time for a second. Fred and I went up to the company that does the electric charger for the cars. We toured the plant. We actually saw the charger. We were supposed to bring it back. Actually, it took one of the town trucks to bring it back. But they said no, because they had concerns about where we would store it and if we would break it and the whole 9 yards. So the day before they're going to install it, we need to call them. They're going to bring it down that morning and actually help us install it. So hopefully by next Thursday, we'll have the vehicle charging station in as well. And it is fully ADA compliant. So, sorry, I had hijacked some.
No, that's fine. I'm done.
So, Paul?
Some of those same things I was going to discuss, Maple Street School and the dedication. But the other thing, what Trish was talking about, and with town buildings and everything, I would like to make sure that whoever's on these committees or whatever, make sure that we try to find alternative energy sources, such as solar. We've got some wonderful buildings here for solar energy. As we checked out before, Len, we had discussions about this and everything. So I think that, with these town buildings, we really should do a push. And I know there's many communities now that are trying to get their towns as a whole, all the homeowners to buy into these programs. A friend of mine who lives in Brookfield bought into the program, and they're going around to every household, and they're getting quite a few people to get into this because of the way the state is running. God bless you. Running this.
Minnie Mouse is on our board.
Yeah. But I would like to make sure that the town stays on top of this stuff, alternative energy sources as well.
Yeah, I just was appointed vice chairman on CCM's task force for sustainability, so I'm actually learning a lot more than I knew. The mayor of Bridgeport is the chairperson of the committee, and he is very green.
Yeah.
So I'm actually learning a lot from him.
That's
So,
because he's Irish.
well, yeah, well, that too. So, hopefully we'll have more of that. And one of the things that I am pushing this task force to have is educational series for new mayors, new first selectmen, new town managers, whomever, so they can get a better understanding of this. Because I'll admit, I'm by far an expert on sustainability. I really don't know a lot about it. I'm not even a very good recycler. So, it would be good to have this type of training.
You will be.
Starting next week, I'm going to be a great recycler. But to your point, I think a lot of towns and communities miss the opportunity to take advantage of these. I think Seymour is one of those towns, partially because I'm not as fluent in that as I should be. So I think that training's definitely going to help.
I mean, I got, having missed the last meeting, when I was driving through New Mexico and Arizona, I mean, all the wind towers and stuff like that, all over. I mean, it's just amazing because there's so much open space out there.
Sorry.
That was awesome.
It really is.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
I understand. You can choke.
That is so
It's just too
sour.
sour for him.
Holy cow, I put 3 of
But,
them in my mouth.
but I was just impressed with, there's so many wind
Seriously?
turbines out there. I
Really.
know they got the space for it, but I think it's just amazing what you can
Yeah, the
do.
Midwest, too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of towns I know. My brother-in-law lives in Duxbury, thank you, Al. And they have 2 giant ones right there. So, and that's, a very affluent town.
I mean, I know
Duxbury.
that the state has to regulate a lot of this stuff and all that.
Mhm.
so,
All the way from St. Louis to Chicago, all you see
Yeah.
are the wind.
yeah.
Thank you, Paul. Oh, I'm sorry, did you?
No, that's it. I mean, Karen carried all the other topics. I'm good.
Beautiful. Nicole?
I'm all set.
Okay. Al?
Just quickly,
Nothing you
Happy
do as
to-
quickly, buddy.
well, come on. The proclamation for Nina was a really nice gesture by the town, and, kind of makes us proud to be, residents of Seymour, proud to be a resident of Seymour. We do nice things.
Rory
for our-
spearheaded that with
colleagues.
them, so
Good job, Rory.
he gets the credit for it.
Good job, Roy. That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Anne Marie?
man, it's 9:30.
Anne Marie is nothing. Mr. Green?
Yeah, just quickly, actually, Karen, just if this will make you feel a little bit better, I know some invitations have gone out for it. One of my colleagues actually at the company I work for received an invitation from, I believe from DEEP, as we own all the hydroelectric facilities on the Housatonic. They want them to come and take a look at the fish ladder as a model of what can be done in other areas. So there are invitations going out, I just don't know who else got them.
Just didn't get one.
So there is, I didn't either.
Did you get one, Rich?
Hey, when the gov couldn't come, I got the invitation.
But there are something,
Starting to see
there
a
are
pattern.
some,
Bunch of big wig Democrats are starting to get things. I want to check in on Paterla to see if he got one.
the other,
He's one of those big wigs.
Big D's,
That's right, he's a big D. He's a big D.
big wig.
Sorry, Lynn, go ahead.
no, that's all right. The other issue I want to bring up, I already brought it up with Kurt earlier today, but we talked about it at the Board of Public Works last night. The brush pile and tub grinder issue up at the transfer station is becoming a huge problem. I know that it's been a problem for a long period of time. The concerns were raised again about the potential liability to the town, and I believe you had mentioned there is some talk of action going on. I just wanted to bring that up and say we need to take care of that pretty quickly, but also we need to come up with, if it hasn't already been done, a strategy to either address the problems with the tub grinder or get rid of it, because it's just becoming an issue more and more every year.
Our safety officer, which is Fire Marshal Wedowitz, has been discussing this for about the last 6 months or so. in conjunction with H.D. Sager, who is our risk advisor, for lack of a better term. We applied for a burn permit, but the state denied that because the pile is so big. The issue we have with our tub grinder is we don't have the magnets. So as they feed things into the tub grinder, some people don't just throw wood down there, they throw metal down there. The metal goes into the tub grinder and it destroys the drums. The drums are very expensive. It's about $10,000 to change the drum, so it's not a cheap process. We have been looking to outside vendors, getting prices to come in and essentially chip it and take all of the chips, for lack of a better term. A little pricey, but better than a fine or the dangers we could foresee. Dennis and Craig started getting quotes about 2 weeks ago, so we'll see where that.
That's for the existing pile.
That's for
My
the
concern is moving forward, what do we do?
Yeah, so how did that happen? There must be lack of supervision over who's throwing what.
Well, no, it's tough
Right.
because, well,
People do things and
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to see every
I mean,
piece
I
of
know.
it.
I have a
there.
plan.
Okay.
We can't, well, with,
Just a leg.
Hire
Just a
sniper, yeah.
leg.
he did, that's why I had to stop to compose myself for a second.
Just a leg.
Um,
Just a finger.
Our current setup at the transfer station, I think, needs to change. We currently have one employee who works up there, and it's extremely difficult for that one employee to maintain not only the hopper area with the regular residents, but also be in the backyard. To have a second employee there is extremely expensive because a regular public works employee gets a higher rate for going to the transfer station. There's a transfer station rate. So with potential retirements coming, I think we should strongly consider looking at what alternatives we could have to managing the transfer station. I know other communities who have looked at other alternative solutions. As part of those solutions, that bulk chipping and things are taken care of. So the roundabout way to answer your question without being specific, so I don't get in trouble by Rich, is I think would definitely be addressed
Good.
at that time. I said to Dennis, why don't we just buy some magnets, and some light bulbs went off in people's heads. Because buying, a set of magnets is substantially cheaper than replacing the drums. So,
No, that's good. I just wanted to make sure that
Or a
was
big
thought
old
about
match.
prospectively, that we have a strategy to deal with this, because it's gonna
Yes.
continue to become a problem.
and it's only going to get worse. I agree with you 100%. So, is that it?
That's all I have.
Okay, and just a quick update on the garbage cans, or the recycling bins that have been rolled out. Recycling bins are being dropped off to people's houses on the day that your garbage is picked up. Every home will be receiving a green bin for recycling, a blue bin for garbage, 96 gallons. For people who 96 gallons is too big, they can call into the office where we'll put them on a list to receive 64-gallon containers, which are smaller. The cans, though they are huge, are very easy to maneuver. Like we talked about, I know you're all on board, it's going to benefit us with recycling and things like that. Winters Brothers has been a very good partner throughout this process. They communicate daily with Rory. We get updates, we get nice little spreadsheets. Rory has been kind of handling the day-to-day of this. So, knock on wood, so far things are going very well. With regards to the paving on Patton Ave and Jay Lane and Halsey, just because I got another resident who is complaining, I would like to stress that the project is not done yet. We will be coming back to be doing driveway aprons, the ends of driveways, as well as curbs. Jim had mentioned that. To that, people seem to think that we paved the road and we're going to be leaving the aprons untouched, and everybody wants us now to pay for their cars. So, in the next week, all this should be addressed. A&J is doing it in a very systematic fashion. They did first the catch basins, then they did the roads. Now they're going to be coming back and doing all of the finished work on the 3 different roads. So if you're asked by a resident or it's brought up to you, please explain the process is ongoing. If they have any questions, they can certainly call into the office, and I think Rory probably fields 100 of those phone calls a day, so he'd be more than happy to discuss that. So with that, if no one else has any other questions or comments, Anne Marie?
I make a motion, Jim.
Second.
Wow. I might have to give that one to Karen by a nose. Motion by Anne Marie, second by Karen. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 7-0. Close the meeting at 9:38 PM.